Yes.
Yes, we are live.
We're live, so welcome everybody to the second session of the Orkland campaign for Dark Eye. I'm doing, I'm showing the book here. Okay, recap. Last time we were able to get the whale into the water, and the whale was happy.
You can say
So
that.
as all the Torwallians and Mabon managed to heal a little and discovered alcohol. He didn't seem to be quite used to that. The was it? What are the people we've met? The Orison.
Hmm?
Is it that? It was the Orison that helped us with the wheel.
You mean the people from the town?
Yeah, yeah.
Nostrians.
Nostrians. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the Nostrians got their pay, and we got back to the boat. We managed to, yes, Mabon embarked with us because Captain Larson invited him, and Mabon seemed to be interested into that journey. So we got back to the boat and managed to travel to the north up to Tarwal, which is some kind of a capital of the Torwallians, but the Torwallians is not a nation in itself, but it's a cosmopolitan city where many nations live there, and orcs too. So we've met some civilized orcs, as we may say, and we were guided to some place in the city to have our mission. It was given to us by an elderly Tarwalian woman. The name?
Hitgat.
Gerhelt of Thorval.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Garhel. Yeah.
that's her.
Right. Hitgat was someone else.
So basically, our mission is to go to the Orkland to explore the place because we don't know much about the Orklands as for now, and that's what they want. They want to know what's going on there. So we have roughly a week of preparation before getting into this probably dangerous journey. Do I miss? Have I missed something?
Oh, it was just a couple notes that I wrote down.
Yeah.
In payment, we were offered these special pills that would allow us to come back to life, and Mavon
Yeah.
was very curious about those. He wanted to find out what they were about. And also, Gerhalt mentioned someone named Yellowtooth of the Orcs and Thorval, who was the leader of all the orcs in the city, who said she mentioned that we might want to get a hold of him and talk to him about anything.
Yes, I do remember now. Okay, I'm taking notes too. So, okay, and yellow tooth, you say?
Yeah, Yellowtooth of the Orcs and
Or
Thorval.
okay. So, making a generic. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So last time we left off, you entered the Longhouse again,
Yes.
and you were set you could meet a couple of the others who wanted to go on through this journey.
Okay.
I will swiftly bring up an image again of the Longhouse, if I can find it. Here. Here. Mm-hmm. Well, there. Should okay. And here. Okay, let's screen share. Okay, so you're again in this room with the bear on the ground.
Yes.
the bear pelt. And you can hear voices from the other side of these, I don't know what they're, tapestries?
Curtains.
Curtains, yeah, of the curtains.
Okay, so we don't know what's going on the other side of the curtains.
You can hear 3 voices, all male, it seems.
Okay.
One very deep, the others slightly, yeah, quite normal actually. And they seem to be telling each other stories and laughing a bit.
Do I hear? Is it the Tarwalian accent, something like that?
One of them seems to be Thorvalian, yes.
Okay. Well, I have to check out my equipment. I have to make an inventory. I know that I'm early on that, but since I don't want to mix up with people too much, that's what I do.
Okay.
Is this the direction that Garhelt went to? Where we're hearing the voices?
No. Garheld left you outside of the longhouse and basically told you the others were inside.
Okay. Well, Mavon is going to continue looking for someone to help sew up his clothes that were torn up by the beast from the sea. He doesn't like having his clothes all in tatters.
Okay.
Well, at some point I look at Mavon and I say, "You seem worried about your clothes."
Yeah, he looks at his clothes very carefully and says, "These are my official robes that I was given by the Academy. I am entrusted with these. These represent the Academy, and by extension, me and my honor. I must keep these in good condition." And he's just picking at where he was ripped up by the kraken from the sea.
Okay. Oh, well, I can repair them if you don't find someone, but I don't know how official they will stay.
Oh, I appreciate that. I will look for someone who's an actual seamstress and see if they can help me with this.
Okay, no problem.
Well, I myself have already kind of slipped away, and I'm just going on into town.
Okay. So you basically leave. Let me. Where do I have the Thorwall map? There. Let's take this one. Okay. So we'll basically enter this area here on top.
Yeah.
And as you go down, or as you leave the front gate of this walled community, you enter the city again.
All right. I want to go down to. I want to go back down to the docks and just where we were in that where we came in at. But just casually walking down through there.
Okay, so you walk down this particular path here. You can see there's bits. People are working, carrying stuff from left to right. As you walk down, you notice not only orcs who seem to be carrying crates and stuff, but you also seem to see people in red fur, very small, maybe coming up to 140 or 150 in meters. Um, uh, those yeah, you can do a what was it? The uh, no, not that. Let me just see.
Maybe folklore?
Yeah, folklore would be good. Yeah, folklore. Let's do folklore.
Alright. 3 for cleverness, 3 for intuition, and 13 for charisma?
Okay.
Or CH? Is that charisma? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I passed all 3 of them.
Okay. You would say these would have to be goblins. Small little nasty creatures. And here they seem to be. You don't really know what they're doing. They seem to be going through trash and they seem to be really dirty. Sometimes you hear them giggling in a high-pitched voice.
It's like I say to myself, wow, this is a really interesting place. So I go around where the orcs are working, but I stay out of the way and just kind of watch the ocean and
Okay.
keep an eye on, waiting for like them getting off or them breaking or whatever,
Hmm.
uh, breaking from work or getting off work or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. You entered the town around the morning, so they're still quite busy. A couple of them seem to be going into taverns every now and then, but most of them seem to be keep working.
Mm. Well, okay, I follow I follow, or I don't follow, but I go into a tavern at some time, in which I don't seem very suspicious.
Okay.
Like I'm not following anyone.
Okay. So you just linger around the tavern, or?
No, I just wait for an opportune time to go in, one where I know an orc is in, but I'm not.
Ah, I see. Yeah. Okay. That opportunity will present itself, or at least you won't know, but at least you have seen the only orcs you've seen enter also leave.
All right. Okay.
After checking my equipment for the 5th time, I say to myself, maybe I should go to the city too. Trying to be casual, I want to meet Yellowtooth. Did we have some indication on where to find him?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I get out of our longhouse, looking for someone there.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone working there, and try not to look at the person. I say, you know that orc Yellowtooth? Where can I find him?
Orcs? Well, don't they live all down by the docks in that shabby shanty town?
That's where I
And
should. Okay, well, I'm not from the town, so yeah, maybe that.
you look the part. So go down to the docks on the other side of the harbor. There's a couple of uh, of made-up houses. There they live.
Okay, since if I go there alone, will I have any trouble with the this inhabitants.
Don't
And,
try
and
not
from
to
behind
push
you.
them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Speak.
Oh, and from behind you, you hear Mavon say, "You won't be going alone. I'll go with you." He seems very eager.
You weren't going to see some golden finger to mend your official clothes.
I might find something along the way, but I think it can only do us good to get out and see different cultures and different people. They're bound to be able to help us, give us some information. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to share.
I'm,
Oh,
I'm sure the orcs are bound to share and help you. I doubt they have any reason not to.
That's what I thought. I was certain of it.
Of course.
well, at least they won't look at me. They were more look at you. It's fine with me.
Try not to piss them off too much. I believe Garheld would have a slight problem if we would had to fetch you out of the harbor.
Oh, so Mayban, you want to come with me? Well, I'm ready now. Are you?
Yes, let's go. Of course.
Okay.
He looks a little too eager to be going to see the orcs.
Well, along the way, I asked Mayban, are you a Lee or Silver Elf? I
Am I
heard
what?
of both. A Lee or Silver Elf?
Um, before I can give you that answer, let me just look myself.
Because I've read about it. So
Yeah. The problem is, I'm not sure. I always get the translation wrong.
well, I read that on page 142.
Well, he'd probably have the German book though.
Ah, okay, yeah. Well,
Uh,
I was raised in the Farandel forest as a child, if that matters to you.
Lee, he's a Lee. Well, you would have been from the Lee elf people.
I suppose you would call us the Lee Elves.
yeah, well, that's how I've heard about elves. Yeah, and you live in the wood. You used to live there.
Yes, I lived there for a while until my grandfather sent me off to the academy.
Ah, well, we have much in common. That's great.
Really? How
I
so?
have the intention. Oh, well, on this mission, I don't know if we'll get into some forest of some sort, and I don't know what kind of forest and what kind of animals or we will find there. I think having two persons with different experience in the wood, I think it's a good thing.
Ah, you grew up in the woods as well?
No. I spent some last years being alone in the wood.
Ah, a retreat.
Yes, exactly that.
Ah, very good. That can be very good for the soul to retreat into the woods and cleanse yourselves. Cleanse yourself, your soul, of any form of impurities that you may be thinking or feeling. The woods is a very pure place. It's a very holy place.
Well, for me, it was the perfect place to live my latest years.
Ah,
But going on that journey, yes, it was for a change.
yes, I look forward to heading back into the woods at some point. I spent
So,
my early years there, so I enjoyed my time at the academy and among civilization, but I do long for the times that I spent in the woods by myself.
Well, I miss civilization, but I'm not ready to get back to it fully, and I have to choose where.
Indeed.
But I'm looking to ask that Yellowtooth, the way orcs live. Uh, I want to get some information on what they eat and how they close. So some of the what they do in an everyday life of an orc from the Orkland. If you can tell us, it may explain lots of things to us and help understand their ways and maybe help us survive a little more.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Once we get into the Orklands, we'll need to know how to communicate with them, how to deal with them, how to parley.
Yeah, I'm sure we want to. You want to talk with them, but well, frankly, I don't know what to expect from this adventure.
But we can never be too prepared.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Uh,
Okay.
so, well, you have drawn our little road.
Yeah. Yeah. You're just walking down also this main path here. Where do you want to go?
Well, we want to
Where?
go. Well, where should we? Do we know where this little where we will end? Where
Well,
we are? We don't know where we're going.
well, as you go down this road, you at one point notice Marbio standing outside of a tavern and just entering. As you
Okay.
walk by,
I guess we saw the goblins.
yeah, you also see the goblins.
I have a
Yeah.
question. Have I ever saw that logically on a map?
You've seen them from afar in your time in the woods. You usually try to get out of their way, and they likewise try to get out of your way. Um, but you know, if you leave anything easy to grab from the things you've hunted, then they will have it in no short time.
Okay. So I'm being careful. So we see Marview entering a tavern.
Yes.
Well, since we are going to be a week here, I'd like to drink something. How about you, Mabon?
Mavon looks somewhat hesitant. He says, well, I'll go in with you, but I can't promise that I will imbibe anything at this establishment.
We won't. Well, if they want to serve you premium fire, I will say not to take it. Eh? But
I'm not sure what that means, but I will agree with you.
but that's what you drink after the
Oh, is
whale.
that what it was called? That horrible, disgusting, bitter rot gut.
No, well, it's a taste. Tarwalians, you know, we were born with that taste in our mouth. I'm sure our mother were drinking that while they were breastfeeding us, and yes, we know how to drink that.
Mavon looks very concerned when you say this. I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
It's a matter of speaking. I don't know if my mother drank premium fire while breastfeeding me, but it's a way of speaking.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, as Marbio enters the tavern, we see it's this place similar similar interior to the Longhouse, and there's not many people there at this time. A couple of older people, all Valiants, sit here along a couple of tables. seeming to talk to each other about old times, and drinking a not bright, what's uh, light-colored beer.
I guess I know what it is.
Yeah,
Like a half of ice.
Me, that's
it's
in there
no,
now,
not
right?
Weizen would be much stronger. This is more like something like lemonade with a bit of alcohol.
Okay.
So it's like a mild.
Yeah, it's really mild.
Yeah.
Well, so Marvio, are you sit somewhere?
Oh, I've already sat down at the bar and I've ordered something. Instead, I'll order what they're having.
I sorry, I didn't get that.
I said I'll order what they're having and point to the older.
Okay. One Thorvalian bright for you. She cleans a mug and prepares your drink. So, what's your story?
Oh, I just came in here. I just came up this way and get away from some bad people back home.
You try to get away from people?
Yeah.
Will they follow you in here?
No. They're all the way back in Horasia.
Oh, you're one of them.
Yeah. I'm one of them pompous little poofters.
Ah, we understand each other. So, let's see how you can check this. Stand the mug in front of you. So, last time I was down with my otter in Grangor, they really liked the clothing we brought. Are they still interested in pelts?
Can you say that again?
Well, the last time I was in Grangor, we had this shipload of pelts, and we expected to get maybe a couple of silverlings for each. But you know what? They sold for ducats.
Huh.
And all those rich and pompous people, even more pompous than you, sorry, those bought them off our hands. Do they still want them?
Oh, I'm sure. Good furs are always nice. Are always popular amongst the upper class crowds. I like my clothing well, but as you can see, I'm not exactly the richest Horasian in the world.
Upper what?
Upper classes, classes society.
What kind of furs is that? I'm
Oh.
coming.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh, we had mostly mostly sheep pelts, but we also had a couple of don't know hermelin. But let me look it up. Hermelin. A stoat.
Stoats. Yeah, those do go for quite a bit, if I remember correctly.
Here we have them as vermins.
Well, yeah, but you gotta use them for something, huh?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I was.
What do
there's
you
a
want
domestic kind that some of the rich people like to keep as pets sometimes.
to? What do you
Uh,
want to drink?
Me, something strong.
A fire?
Yes.
Okay.
And so something not too strong for my elven friend here.
Would you happen to
uh,
have tea?
Tea. Okay. What? Yeah, here we have very, very good tea. He takes something off the side and puts a couple of herbs or something onto it. Here, it shouldn't be that strong.
Oh, thank you.
As
Can I tell what he put into it?
well, you can do a plant law.
Okay.
But you are quite certain it wasn't from the cooking place, so it probably was some kind of herbs. Um, and what he gave you, as you smell it, it also has a slight smell of alcohol. Not too strong though, and a bit sweet.
So he put the herbs in some sort of alcohol?
It seems like that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
the much milder kind.
Well, thank you very much. And he'll slowly sip.
Yeah, tastes much like it's smelled. Seems to be something with honey. Um, yeah, and you get your premium fire.
Yeah.
Clears the throat.
Okay. That's perfect. I take a sip of my premium fire, let the fire burn my throat, and being happy about it. And Mario, what was about the furs you were talking about? I'm just curious.
Small talk.
Okay, okay. Well, I used to work in that field before getting to this journey. So, what were you doing around? What were you searching for, Mario?
Searching for. I come in here to mingle.
Okay.
Uh,
As you sit there and talk, the door opens and an orc comes in with a basket, and the bartender goes around and they talk a bit, and then he takes the basket and they exchange money.
Okay.
I raise my glass and politely.
I didn't understand.
I raise my glass politely, like I was.
Ah, okay, okay. The orc doesn't really seem to notice.
I think we should. I see to Maven. Maybe we should ask him where's that yellow tooth.
Ah, that's a good idea. He just seems so completely absorbed in his tea.
Don't be so hasty. Let's not make a scene. Let's be a little bit subtle, if we at all can. We don't really know. I mean, I'm not entirely sure about the culture. You know, that might be considered rude or. Oh, you know.
I hadn't considered that. That's
What
a
you
good idea.
gawking at?
Well, our elf seems so gentle. Why would they attack him?
As you look at the orc, he turns around. What are you gawking at?
Oh, we're not gawking at you. We mean no offense. We were just merely discussing some things between the three of us. Have you heard of a certain individual by the name of Yellowtooth?
Certain indie?
Individual? A certain person? A certain orc?
What? You mean the one with yellow tooth?
I would assume so.
He by docks.
Ah,
He live in big house. What you want him?
well, we just wish to discuss some things with him.
Go up the river. We want to have information
You
about
what?
that.
You in?
We're going to go up the river to Orkland, to the Orklands, because we're crazy. We need some information on that. If you,
You information about crazy?
yes, pretty much so.
You leave me alone. I want my money now. Yeah, here, have it.
Mavon looks completely befuddled by everything about his anger and indignation.
Oh well.
Orc seems to be a proud people.
Did we say something wrong? I don't understand.
I think in their ears, everything sounds wrong. That's just me. But I've never met the orcs. The only orcs I've met in my life wasn't very friendly.
Well, maybe if I spoke to them in Thorvalsh, they might appreciate it more. I learned that at the academy.
Oh yeah? Maybe. I don't know.
Well, they're probably treated as lower class dock workers, so they probably don't know much language of anything at all. You take just enough to get by in their jobs.
I'm wondering if we will insult them if we say that we are going to explore the Orkland. I don't know what kind of relation they have to this part of the world.
Never thought of that. I might
Maybe if I compare to my people, Tarwalians, we are a very proud people. Maybe so if there are some lost Tarwalians far from their lands in Aventuria, maybe I don't. Maybe I guess that my people would be insulted if some kind of enemy were talking about getting into their own land. I don't know. But,
Okay.
Well, maybe if
I
we just made it clear that we're only...
Oh no, go ahead.
But maybe if we just made it clear that we're not there on any bad intentions, we're there just to see the land. We're there on peaceful intentions. We're going through and just to see the land because we haven't seen it before.
I turn around and I ask the bartender,
Mm-hmm.
"Did they ever talk to you about the old? Did they ever talk to you about the north? Or north? I mean, wouldn't it be east? Sorry."
Well, I don't really much talk with them except for the stuff they bring. You know, I can't stand the smell of wet fur.
Well, yeah, I can understand that, but can't help it, I guess. Do you happen to? Would you have any information to help us getting in with them? I mean, you observe them more or less more than we do. Are they solitary? Do they have certain places where they are certain times in which it's better to ask them questions?
I don't know. I know one of them is comes to the city council when they hold it, but maybe that's your yellow tooth. I don't know.
Does he have yellow teeth?
I only heard him. I never went. I never go there myself.
That big house
I see.
he told, and that big house that he told us about. Have you ever saw it?
I don't really go to the orc village.
Okay.
But from what I hear, there aren't any really big houses. Maybe it's big by orc standards. I don't know.
Hmm.
But then again, I hear they live in tents usually. So
A house is probably a big house. Well, thanks for your time, sir. I finish up
thanks.
my
He
and
holds out. He holds out a hand. Thanks for your money.
I was just about to get to that. And I give him the money for the drink and a small tip.
Oh, thanks.
Talking about money, I haven't wrote anything, so how will we do it?
Um,
Do you guys want me to pay?
Ah, you pay.
Yeah, I'll pay for your guys' drinks. They're with me. And then
Good. If someone pay for me, that means more drink for me. Huh? Thank you.
As long as I've been
Knock
amongst
yourself out.
civilization, I still don't understand the concept of paying. I don't understand why.
well, the reason is very simple. You don't pay me, I get my club.
Oh, no, I mean, we definitely will pay you, but, I mean, where I come from, everything is freely shared.
Yeah.
Well,
People probably don't live as close where you come from. So many people in one area. You get
This is
shortage.
very true.
You have from other places, and that takes money and time. I mean, you can't organize
Money.
Okay, I'm rambling.
You said everything is free. Is the women in your town are, the one we used to pay are free?
The what?
Okay,
Or women?
never mind. Never mind.
Shoulder, and then like, hey, let's come on.
oh,
Just asking and me dreaming, but
as you say, I remember now there is this brothel in the orc village. If I hear they have the lowest prices for some reason.
Oh, I can only guess. Well, I mean, I'm sure some people would be into that. Other than orcs, of course.
so I finished my premium fire in one sip. Ha! Okay, I'm ready to talk. to Yellow Tooth, but
Okay. Yeah, as you leave the tavern, you leave for the direction you were pointed to. You first come by a number of houses to hold cargo. They are not built like longhouses. They're just very straight-edged, very functional buildings. And here the number of people you see slowly gets fewer, and finally you enter village of shacks. They're mostly round buildings, from the form similar to Mongolian tents, but built as houses.
Like roundhouses?
Round houses, also with roofs made from leather.
what kind of leather?
Seems to be some kind of cow.
Okay. For in my eyes, I try to see if it's well made. how solid it can be. I'm just interested.
Well, it's you would say it's efficient, so they don't waste anything, but you could surely make it a better quality of leather.
Okay. Okay. I
As
try.
as you enter this village, there's also a couple of orcs standing around or sitting around between or in front of the houses. Some of them begin to look at you with interest, or rather bit of suspicion, but don't come closer yet. Some are polishing spears.
Okay. Well, I'm careful. I try not to look at them in the eyes. I don't want to provoke them. But I try to see what they are eating. If they eat something, or I just want to. I'm already investigating on their culture.
As it happens, you see one of the goblins run around here, and he seems to have some kind of wooden board in front of him, on where he has some kind of animal on stick,
Okay.
which he seems to be handing out to the orcs.
Okay, an animal.
But you're not very close, so you can't really see what kind of
Okay.
stuff
I
is
don't know if it's a poultry or something.
I
I don't know.
I think I
didn't
know. But
I don't. Chris, have you talked? I don't hear you.
oh yeah, I just said something to myself. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay. So, is there a bigger tent than the other that we can see?
Well, there is one that has one room to the side, you would say. So there's a small rectangular building on the side of the other round building. That's the only one that's somehow bigger.
So, I guess we might. I look at my two companions and I say, well, I say that's what big means for them.
I guess so. They're used to living rather in cramped places.
So, who will knock the door?
I go up, knock on the door.
Well, you won't knock at the door. There's rather a post next, wooden posts or surrounding a leather curtain.
I just walk in.
Okay. So as he knocks, you push him slightly aside and walk in. And in there, there's a fire burning that the smoke gets through the roof through small openings. And in there sits an elderly-looking orc, because he has not black fur as the others that you've seen, but rather grayish-looking fur that goes through almost all over his body, except for his face, where there's still a black beard. And he's sitting on the other side of the fire and holding one of these sticks into the fire.
I try.
What you do in my tent?
Oh, I was pointed this way. This is the brothel, right?
Me not brothel. You go. It's where old Chip.
Oh, I thought we were going to the brothel. Uh, sorry about that, dear sir. What is your name, if I may ask?
I'm Yagrash.
Oh, sorry, Yorgesh. I'll take my leave, and then I give a bow.
But you can make a not spot. What was it? Really
Perception?
perception. A perception check.
Do we have that?
Yeah.
That's
If you enter as well, then you too can.
Well, yeah, enter. And I'm searching for my perception. Not used to that.
14 under cleverness.
It's easy. So you have 4 additional points, so to speak.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm only by 3, and I've already got some in perception. So yeah, I do it pretty good.
Okay.
Not me.
14, 12, and 13. So.
Okay. So as you turn around to leave, you notice that the teeth of this orc, which are pretty big and come out to the sides, are indeed very yellow.
You're the one they call Yellowtooth, aren't you?
Yes, they do.
Ah, I was.
But
Someone mentioned.
Yagrash.
Oh, Rush. People have told me that you might have some information that we've been looking for.
I did tell you, I'm not brother.
Huh?
You go Silverback. He brother.
Oh, well, we were going to the brothel to get information. See.
You humans never go brothel for brothel. You always go for something else.
Oh yes, because we're humans, and never mind. Oh. In any case,
After some time, Mavon sticks his head tentatively inside the dwelling. He feels very uncomfortable just walking in.
Well, you hear them talking, and as you enter, you smell the smoke, and your very fine nose captures this. It's very smoky, very sweaty place. Very strong in smell.
Okay.
Almost numbing.
Oh.
we're working for cartographers going into the Orklands. Yes, I know. It's not
what?
Map makers.
What's map?
It's a drawing that shows you where things are in a large area.
Like that? He points at one of the walls, where you can see depictions of, it seems to be steers and cows, and something that could be interpreted as a river.
Yes, like that, except a little bit more detailed. We're mainly a scouting party to see a clear path through for the people making the drawing. And we're thinking of traveling up the river into the Orklands.
Would you come me?
You guys know? Do you know anyone who knows a lot about that place? Anybody who's recently been entered into the Thorwallian cities?
Well, of course, we have people here who come from our ancestor land. But why should I tell you?
Oh, wow.
Why should I give you one my people?
We don't want any trouble with your people. We just want to see what's in there. So if you tell us what we should do not to get into any trouble other than don't go there, we'd be glad.
I tell you, you pay, and
Oh,
I
certainly.
I give you one my hunters, Karkush.
Okay.
He ghosts you. He
How
can tell.
much?
Hmm. How long he gone?
Oh, we're going all the way through to the other side. Um,
Maybe
Probably
like
pay up front for a few months. If it goes over, we'll pay him more as time goes on. But I'm sure we're not going to be gone the whole few months, so he'll probably be making out better that way.
Hmm. Let's say we give, yeah, you give 30 of your gold. You
I
have
have
been, for reference, you have been offered 100 gold each for making this journey, as far as money is concerned, at least.
well, paying to help avoid conflict is better than any kind of weapons and armor. Just so long as I do have a little left over for armor. So yes, I will be willing to pay that.
You a lot of words for saying yes.
Yes, I'm a wordy fellow. I do apologize, and I
What was
smile at him.
I will
I'm
call. I will. You bring money. I will find my Karkush.
I'm going to Marvio on by his ears. Do you trust this guy? He wants the money now, and will we see his hunter?
Mm. Okay, I'll bring the money. You bring the hunter, and then we'll make the exchange.
Good. Here, have that.
Have what?
He points the stick at you, and you look into the not closed eyes of a slightly burned rat
Oh.
on a stick.
Well, I do I take the stick from him or do I take the rat?
He points a stick at you. You can grab the stick. You can try to pull the rat off the stick, or
I grab the stick gently, and
Mhm.
does he let go?
Yeah. He lets
Okay.
go.
And as when he lets go, I take it and I take a bite of it.
As
Cool.
you do, Mavon looks horrified.
I say to Marvio, it's not that bad. I had some time to eat that.
Well, it's crisp. It tastes like meat. Um, well, there's some strange earth-like taste to it.
A little gamey, but I like it. Gives me into the rustic attitude. Thank you very much, Urgosh.
Good. We meet again in evening. You come here,
Yeah,
then we exchange.
we will do so. And then now I take my leave for real this time. And then I give another polite bow and leave. Oh, that was easy. I say right when I get home.
Well, it seems easy. Okay, if 30 golds make, why not? Yeah, as you said, it's better to pay that and have less trouble.
Well, it's as I said earlier. If you speak to them sincerely, if you deal with them honestly, then more than likely you will get good results.
Ah,
I will see the results this evening.
As you walk out of the tent, one orc, also in black pelt, slightly smaller it seems and hunched over a bit, stands next to the tent, and he has this small bone staff in his hand, and it seems to rattle somewhat. And he looks at Maven and points this bone staff at Maven.
He looks interested at the staff. He extends his hand. Are you giving that to me?
No, you powers of moon. What you do to chieftain?
I'm not sure what you're asking. I've
I
done
am
nothing.
I am shaman.
He's in
You
here.
go.
Would you like me to take him to you?
I am shaman. You go.
We are leaving. That was our intention. What was your name?
Do your intent.
Very good. Well, you have a good.
back around when I come back later. We
I'm
do
Kuka.
have a later meeting with Urgosh.
I'm Kuka. I am priest Tyrach.
Nice to meet you, Kuka. I am Marvio Caravita.
I'm not interested in you. Go. And you go as well. He points at Maven.
For someone
I would
not
be
interested. For someone not interested in us, you put lots of energy of telling us that you are not interested.
I'm interested. I'm interested in you living.
Okay. That's what we are doing.
Yeah, I've already left.
Okay.
I've already started.
So he still follows you a bit around in a slight distance as you leave, and only stays behind after you leave these houses.
Easy talking all the way along.
No, he stops talking as soon as you turn around from him and
Okay.
don't react to him anymore.
Guess he doesn't like elves. Or maybe
I've
mages.
done nothing to him. I've done nothing to him. I mean, what I barely even said anything to his chieftain. I had no interaction with him. Was it the rat? Was it because I didn't eat the rat?
Well, I guess it's because they fear magic in some way. And else before meeting you, well, we confirmed that, but there's a lot of magic with elves.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors going around about you guys, even amongst the humans. I wouldn't pay much mind
Really?
to it. Yes, I wouldn't
Really?
pay much mind
Like
to
what?
Isn't there flying ships that elves? I heard a tale that was a flying ship that is frozen in the north, in the mountain, something like that.
Really?
I have heard so.
Mostly
I-
just hearing people talking about things like enchanting lovers and stupid stuff like that. I mean,
Enchanting lovers.
trying steal away there.
Well, if you wish to engage one of these orcish women, I promise I will not enchant her from you. He's,
I,
I have no intention of doing that.
well, you know what? Sometimes I like to share, so you don't have to worry about that. I slap him on the back.
he cringes and clutches his shoulder as you slap him on the back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. Did I hit you a little hard?
It's okay. I know you meant well. I have the sudden urge to leave this place.
I'm way ahead of you. So we go back, or I go back up to Gernheld. Is that her name?
Garheld.
Garheld.
As you leave the orc village, you come across a big place, and on this place there's 3 large buildings. I'll bring up the map again. Here. See this? Here is the Orkdorf, the Orc village, and as you leave here, you come across these 3 houses. One of them is slightly in the form of a whale. Seems to have some stylized adornments that make it look like a whale. And
I guess it's a temple of Swafnir.
could be, or to you it probably is, yes. And then there's one multi-story building. This is this one, where you can see people going in without anything and coming out with wares. And then there's a smaller building to the side, which in a way looks like a tavern, but the people enter differently, like they are in a place of worship.
Are we still in the orcish neighborhood?
No, the orcs. Well, there is. Let me try to paint in the streaming. The orc village is mostly this here, and these are buildings for cargo. So you are just outside, and here you have, obviously because of the because it's very near to the orc village, a couple of orcs, but mostly humans.
Okay.
You see, the middle building. They're going out with wares, so it's some. I guess it's some kind of a market.
Could be.
Do we have something to buy?
I could do with finding a seamstress.
We could, well, since we are stuck here for some time. I don't know, Mario.
Hey, I'm up for anything.
Okay.
Okay. As you enter, this building seems to be constructed in a way that you have one large floor where you can see everything, and there's tents built in here where different stands of merchants have put up their, or rather, different merchants have put up their stands where they present their wares. There's everything from housewares to food, clothing. There's even a shop for weapons and armor. And there's also other stores, other levels you can reach over a staircase. So there might be more.
Mavon will carefully look for a clothier or someplace that looks like they might be designing or building or sewing clothes or at least selling them.
Well, you will at least find someone who sells. If they do it themselves, you don't really know. They have quite a selection of different types of clothing, all very colorful. Seems not like the usual type of clothing you would find on a Thorvalian. Rather clothes from other parts of the world.
I want to ask a question about the types of armor they would have. They have something really light, like maybe a boiled leather of some sort.
Well, yeah. When you look over the armor stand, you will find something that's leather, and where there's also small metal plaques that are, or rings that are on sewed onto the leather.
So, kind
And
of like
you also see this type of armor on Gruff actually. It's what's called a toe hide. At least that's what Gruff knows.
Well, that's a usual Thorvalian's armor. Efficient.
Is it cheap? Because I paid $30 on it, or
Dollars?
$30.
What's this dollar?
I made a mistake. I paid 30 ducats already. Or well, have to pay it later. So.
We'll have to look it up shortly. I don't have the prices in my head. Oh. Okay. For some reason my PDF reader won't respond. Now. Here I'm at the right place.
While I'm in the clothes shop, I just look for anyone who's in charge, who might be the proprietor of the shop.
There's a blonde woman in Thorvalian clothing, also quite large, maybe 190, and smiles at you. Hello, what can I do for you?
I was wondering, do you have a seamstress on site in your store?
We don't have one on site here, but we could definitely get someone to work for you if you want.
Very good. I just have a tear in my robes that I wish to have sewn up.
Let me see. She looks at the rip in your clothes. That should be easy. If you give me the rope now, we could have it ready for you tomorrow midday.
He looks tentative. I have to leave it here with you? I can't wait?
Well, we usually do it this way. I will take it with the next bunch of clothing to our seamstress, and then we will do it when there's time.
Can I just go to see your seamstress?
I think that would be acceptable, but I will give you a short description. Yeah, and she describes the way through the city.
Okay.
Oh, and it would probably be, let's say, 2 silver thalers.
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second.
That would be 2 silvers.
Very good.
And for the toad hide, that would be the price seems to be, when you ask, around 6 ducats, 6 gold pieces.
Well, I lay down 6 gold pieces and say, yes, I'll take this. And then I take off the my coat, my vanity coat, and there's an undershirt on, and I slip on the toad hide.
Okay.
Or,
You see, it doesn't really fit right now. It's built for someone a bit larger than you. Gruff sees that he doesn't really use the straps in the back yet, but if you are smaller than the size, you have to be strapped in by someone.
Well, I can do that.
Mm.
I guess that I have some talents in that.
Okay.
Well, I'm judging if I actually can do something about this armor.
Well, there is these leather straps at the back, and if you pull them together, it's much like a corset.
Okay. Okay, so well, we'll try to strap them on. I will put a foot on your back and I will pull the strap just to make it fit right.
all right.
As he does this, your breath leaves your lungs, but the armor suddenly fits very close to you and is very, very much on your body.
I take a few paces and try and see if it rattles too much.
It's actually quite quiet.
Nice.
As far as the values go, the Toad Hide has an armor rating of 3 and an encumbrance of 2.
2 is not very high.
2 is not very high. For weapons, you mostly don't even notice that you have an armor on. Of course, for sneaking and so on, it obviously makes you a bit less, a bit encumbered, but it's not too bad. Actually, it's usually with armor, it's the same amount of encumbrance as you have armor rating, so it's slightly better than usual.
Nice. I think I've made a fine decision.
For my part, I want to find some arrows and maybe some bowstrings to have spare bowstrings in my equipment.
That's not much of a problem. Let me quickly look it up. Prices. Well, to buy, if you buy 20 arrows, that would be. You have a short bow, right?
Yes.
2.5. That would be 5 silver then for the arrows, and let's say for 3 additional bowstrings, 1 additional silver, so for a total of 6 silver.
Okay. That's a question I asked earlier, but how much money do I have?
Let's say at the moment you have, let's say 5 ducats on you.
Okay. So we for the arrows.
It's 1 ducat is, or ducats are gold pieces.
Yeah, that's 10 silver.
Exactly.
Okay. 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 So what was the total price again?
6 silver.
Okay. So money. Okay, no problems. I will update my sheet.
Oh,
So
and Chris,
Huh? Yeah.
let's say you had your winnings before you left, which might be the reason why you left, um, which gives you maybe 30 ducats at the moment. So,
All right. So, I'm going to have to go back up there and get some money from them to
right.
pay them back.
Right,
I'm gonna
but
have to,
Garheld also told you that they would pay for equipment and other expenses for the expedition within reason. So
yeah.
you might even be able to get your money back for this and
Mm.
oh
for.
yeah, I will ask that for sure.
Well, I assume having a full-on guide who knows the area will be more than worth getting the money back. Uh,
We could equip him if we are getting some refunds. So our hunter, if we really do have one, I think we could offer him something. I don't know. We could ask Garhelt. But I have found what I was searching for so far.
After I get the directions to the seamstress, I go find the other two, Gruff and Marvio.
Yeah, you find them standing at the armorers, where Gruff is going through some placements of arrows.
Yeah, I'm good. I have an arrow like that in my hand. I check if it's right. I want to have as much as possible for my money.
and you see me carefully folding my jacket as I, get it just right so I can carry it easily. Wearing my brand new toad hide style armor.
Well, I did find a seamstress in case you were interested. I was given directions on how to get there.
Oh, well.
Well, since
So you're
well,
fixed up? Usually, just
I'm
leave
sorry?
it. Usually, you just leave it with the seamstress, and she does it over the course of the week. But
I don't want to do that. They offered to take it and send it to her and come back the next day, but I would rather not do that. I would rather bring it to her, have her repair it, pay her, take it, and leave.
okay, well,
I understand if you don't wish to go up in this area, but it's a very mundane task, but that's where I'm headed anyway.
oh, I'll follow.
why not? I'll take a tour of the city.
Okay. I still. Do you still? Oh yes, you still see the map, yeah. Okay. So, as you leave, here you are basically sent here to this house, going along this palisade here. Also, you see another tavern here that calls itself the Drunken Emperor. Yeah, and you get to the seamstress and knock on the door, I presume, or do you barge
Yes.
in?
No, I just knock on the door.
Okay. Yeah, come in.
I enter. into the establishment.
Okay. Yeah, there you see another woman, elderly, gray hair, sitting on at a table. One basket of clothing on one side, and in front of her she has something. She has some kind of crystal plucked to her eye, and she looks at this piece of clothing with a needle in her hand. Yes.
Yes, I was referred to you by an individual, a woman within the marketplace. I had asked her about a seamstress, someone who could repair this tear in my robes. And she
Ah,
gave me your name.
that would be the festive robe, I presume. I haven't done much for mages lately.
Would you be able to repair it?
Or is that the light robe?
This is the light robe.
Ah, I see, I see. Then let's have a look at it.
I bring it over to her. Carefully take it off, unfasten my sash, fold it, and present it to her.
By
Almost
Travia,
like
what? Okay.
Almost like she's presenting a gift.
She looks at it a bit awkwardly, but then takes it. By Travia, what happened to this arm?
She's talking about my arm? Or...
She's talking about the clothes.
Oh, okay. Well, we were down in Nostria. We were trying to push a whale into the ocean because it had been beached. And then all of a sudden, out of the water, this monstrous kraken came up out and was coming towards the whale. And we drove it off, but it managed to wound me in the process.
By Swafnir. That's quite a story you tell. Now, I think...
I show her the wound on my arms. I'm still healing from the wound itself.
Seems like you're telling the truth then.
Oh yes, it is the truth, my fair lady. Yes, we gave the whale back to the sea to please our god Swafnir, and we protect it from that kraken.
Maybe you should tell that tale in the temple. They might even give you something for it. But stop the sweet talk. I'm too old for you.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Now, let me see that here. Let's say I would take about an hour or so, and then you can
That's
have it
fine.
back.
That's fine.
And let's say 5 silver would do.
Is that a good... He turns to Gruff and say, is that a good price?
Frankly, I don't know. Is it a good price in?
Well, you wouldn't pay that much, but then again, this isn't... you would probably pay 1 or 2 silvers for a new shirt, but then again, you don't buy that kind of quality. This is a really good rope.
Well,
The
maybe
lady...
it's a little expensive, but this seems to be your clothes seems to be quite special. So I don't know if she's just expensive all the time, or if she's just having a price for maybe some difficult sewing feats she'll have to deploy.
Well, the woman in the shop mentioned 2 silvers.
She obviously doesn't know how I have to do this, because you see, you can see here where the beak ripped apart some of the arcane symbols. If you want to have it as the Codex Albricus implies, in the last version I read at least, then I will have to repair this, and that's a bit more finely crafting.
When she starts talking about that, he looks very pleased. As I will pay you your price.
Good. So, and now I would prefer if you lead me to my business. I get nervous with so many people around.
Oh, okay. I will wait outside.
As I'm leaving, I kind of size her up. I'm rolling human nature.
Okay.
The first one I got a 2, the second one I got a 2, and the third one I got a 3 in my human nature.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know you have good human nature. So you would say she's bit rough, but she really thinks that the price is fitting. She doesn't rub her hands or something to congratulate herself. And she seems to be quite professional at what she's doing.
Alright. Okay. I'm fine. Yeah.
Mavon goes. I go outside and lean up against the wall and just I pull out my woodwind and I just start playing music.
Wow. Okay. Do I wait there? I'm tempted by going to temple and tell the tale to see if they're going to give us something. And well, it may be good to have Swafnir have a good eye on us because of our what we did to that whale.
I look at the sky. What time does it seem to be?
By now it's about midday, you would say. The sun is at a very high point.
I'm actually going to take a rain check on all of that. I'm gonna, go back to, gonna go find a place to rest a little while.
So you're going back to the longhouse then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that takes quite a while. Gruff, do you want to do anything?
Yeah, well, I will see that whale-shaped building
Okay.
to see if it's actually a temple.
Yes. As you enter, you can see that there's a small altar
Okay.
in the middle where some people have dropped some gold pieces. Others have dropped some offerings of dried fish or some other sea plants. On the walls, you have different kinds of animal skeletons that are stuffed animals, not stuffed, or you know what I mean. Not
Yeah.
okay, and stuffed fish and so on, and a man in a white pelt robe is standing by the altar with a blue headband and seems to be reciting something.
I don't interrupt him. I listen to what he has to say. I try to remember if it's a prayer I have ever heard in the temple, hometown temple.
As you come closer, it doesn't seem really like he's talking, but rather like he's making some kind of sound. Your character probably wouldn't recognize it, but for you, it's like the sound you hear from whales from underwater microphones.
Okay. Well, I patiently wait for him to follow, and I take this moment to relax and just being alone and yeah.
Okay. Yeah, at some point he seems to notice you and slowly stops, turns to you. What can I do for you? I'm Jarla Ingersson.
Yes, well, I have a tale to tell you, a tale that was made. It's something that it was a in the we made something in Swafsnir name recently.
Then what did you do, son?
I was part of an expedition on a boat when a storm arose. We were forced to go on the shore, and shortly after that, the storm was so strong that a whale was pushed on the shore.
He looks
Uh,
concerned.
yes, and since most of the crew was Torvalians, like me, we wanted to get the whale back, but we asked help from some Nostrians who were living nearby, and they helped us. We had to pay them, but I guess they wanted the whale for themselves, but they were convinced to help us get the whale back to the water. But before it happened, Kraken came to take the
Kraken.
whale. Yes, and we fought courageously. We fought the Kraken because we wanted to protect that whale, and we succeeded. And we were fortunate enough not to have any death on our side. Everyone who fought this monstrous creature survived, and
A
we
good fight. Good
yes,
fight for the right cause.
absolutely, and we were able to get back the whale into the water, and the whale greeted us with a burst of water coming from his hole.
By Swafnir. That's a good sign. Do you have any witnesses?
Well, all the crew from the dragon boat that came, the dragon boat is still in the port, and Captain Larson may tell you about it. He's an
Ah,
honest man.
I heard of him. Reske Larsen. He's a
Yeah.
good hetman, I hear.
So he was there too.
What did you have to pay for the help?
Dishes.
What?
We
Was it their cargo?
Yes, it was part of their cargo, and the Austrians seemed very happy with their dishes in exchange for them to push the whale on the. Well, they didn't have to fight, and since it took longer because of the Kraken, well, they had our hospitality for the night, and they were kind enough not to hurt the whale.
I see. Well, I will talk to Hetman Larsen, and I would say if the story that you tell seems to be correct, then return here tomorrow, and I will have something to compensate you for your efforts.
As was near, it will. I'm already honored to have served Swafsnir in saving that whale, but I will be there tomorrow.
Good, good. And now I would like to speak to my god again.
No problem. I'm going. Well, I'm going to do a prayer, and I will go. And that's what I do. I do small prayer for thanking Swafnir to have us, well, for the boat, the journey on the boat, that it got well so far, and we managed to get alive to Tarwal.
Okay. At this moment, Marbio enters the longhouse, and there seems to be someone standing in the doorway. Large woman with also in Torvalian clothing, with it seems to be like a tattoo on her forehead, and a red bandage around her arm.
Do I recognize her?
No, you haven't seen her yet. As she sees that she was seemingly about to leave, as she sees you, her eyes go to the side, seemingly trying to avoid you. But she stands still.
Tip my hat politely. Do I recognize? What would I have to roll to recognize the tattoo?
It seems to be a kind of a depiction of a whale, but you guess. How do you mean recognition?
Why do I recognize what it is, or would I even have that kind of knowledge?
I don't think that you would know something about this.
Well, I don't try and force her to do anything she doesn't want to. So I just kind of politely bow and ask offhandedly if the what was her name again?
Garhel.
I keep forgetting her name. Gernheld?
Garheld, yeah.
Garheld. And I just kindly ask, would Garheld be in at the moment?
I think Garheld is in one of the other houses. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm here. I'm here on the expedition, so I'm just going to sit in the lobby and wait for her, if that's okay.
You are here too for the expedition?
Are you coming with us? Is that what you're implying?
I think so, yes.
Well, it'd be nice to have you aboard. And,
You think so?
Well, why wouldn't it be?
Don't you recognize it? I'm one of the whale children.
I'm from Horasia, so I'm not really that versed in a lot of the things up this way.
Some say I'm blessed. I would say I'm rather cursed with whale rage. If I lose my temper quickly, and I don't stop ever until I fall to the ground. So please keep that in mind for both our sakes.
Well, I will keep that in mind. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. And then I go on in and sit down in the is the lobby or a foyer? I forgot.
As you go beside her and she can now leave, she seems to relax somewhat and leaves the building. Yeah, again in the room with the bed and the bear pelt on the ground. Your belongings that you put here are still there.
All right. Well, sit and is there drinks or like fruit on the table or something?
Yeah, there's a bit of do you say carafe?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, okay. There's a carafe of it seems like spiced wine on the table.
I take a little bit, and I drink it slowly, and I keep an eye on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep an eye on the time.
Okay.
Mostly waiting for Gerheld, and
Yeah. After a short while, the one of the curtains is drawn back, and Garheld is actually coming out.
ah,
Talking over her shoulder to someone behind her. And then she notices you. Ah, what are you doing there? Come over here, there's the fire.
well, I get up and I go over there, and I sit down and I say, I've spoke to Yellowtooth.
Ah,
And
did you?
yes, for 30 gold, he's willing to send one of his own up with us.
Really?
Nice fellow.
You would have an orc in your party?
I don't see
Yours?
why not. Apparently he's a hunter. Apparently he's pretty fresh from the Orklands. I assume that if he does turn cloak on us, he won't be the only orc after us. So, what could be the harm?
Well, I will let you and your comrades talk about that. It's not my life that's at risk here. Let me show you two of or three of the others that go on this expedition. She will point at three people sitting close to the fire, talking with each other. This is Halma Eindrinchen. She will point at one, someone who looks like also like a Thorvalian. He is a skald, and he will be with you on this journey to take notes and tell the tale afterwards. This is, I believe his name is Dithrat. I didn't really get his last name. He comes from Gareth. You know, the center, the capital of the Middle Realm. He tells he's some kind of explorer or something. I don't really understand. And that dwarf over there, that's Uksh Grosho Kornomon. He says he wants to look for some kind of old dwarven mine or something.
He's an orc.
A dwarf.
Oh, a dwarf. Well, do any of you three have a problem with an orc being part of the company?
The dwarf will look at you like you said something unbelievable. What? An orc amongst us? How could we sleep?
Oh, I'll worry about that. But well, I could pay him. I could pay Urgosh half and tell him thanks, but no thanks if you really need to. But he apparently does know the land well, and that would be a big part of the exploration process. Is somebody who knows the territory.
The Garethian looks at you. Ah, an orc. Interesting. I never was brave enough to talk to orcs before, but that could be an interesting experience.
Yes, it was fairly interesting. They're very humble people.
Humble. Well, I'm interested to hear about that.
Yes, very quaint, very
Huh. This will be a strange saga if I have to tell that an orc was with us, but who knows? Will come from the Skald.
uh, um,
What's
and
your
about
name? What's your name, by the way?
I'm Marbio Caravita. I'm from the great and pompous nation of Horasia. At your service. And then I take my hat off and bow.
The dwarfs begins to laugh slightly. Also the Skald. Detrat, the Garithian, looks a bit with a raised brow. Nice to meet you. Well met. Well, I'm sure we'll have time to get to know each other a bit better over the coming days.
Mm, indeed. Well met, all of you.
As we've reached the 2-hour mark, do we want to set a breaking point here?
Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea.
Well,
Okay.
me, I could, well, in general, I will get to Mavon and wait for him to forest close and
Okay.
get back to the longhouse. And yeah. And I talked to him, maybe we should take some information about that contest they want to make us.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. If you really want to. I would honestly not wish to be even a part of it, but if Garhelt really wishes us to take part of it, then I guess we shall.
Yeah. So then well,
I just
yeah.
don't understand why we need a leader. Why can't we be a collective? Why can't we be equals and all just go about and know that we need to be helping each other? Why do we need someone ordering us? Just a concept that's as foreign to me as your money and buying and selling things. But whatever.
Well, leader may be useful. Someone who can have a broad view on things. Well, it depends on the kind of leader. They are not all necessarily giving orders.
That is the point there, I guess. Is a contest really the best way of choosing whether someone should be leader? Whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. Frankly, usually leaders are freely elected by Torwalians, so I don't know why a contest this time.
I don't know either.
Okay. So far, I'm well. I don't have anything much to do than to wait for the
Okay.
contest and maybe get along with the three other party members that we meet.
Okay. Again, do we want to stop here or go on a bit?
Whatever is best for everyone.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea to stop here.
Well, okay. Well, we don't. We'll just have to pick up the hunter the next time.
Yeah. Okay. There's also one thing. You all get 50 experience points for the last adventure.
Okay. And experience. Okay.
Oh, and I will just stop I will go far from would stop the life part.